welcome back to the DFS Special. I'm your host, your DFS Jerusalem, coming to you live from the list. You got 150 entries, and then you're a shark, and I don't fuck with you. So there's too much good shit on here. This is the often imitated, never duplicated. I'm here with my lovely co-host. Thank y'all. Stay safe. Enjoy. I may have been calling in to work. You're gonna be in the running for the Snowflake of the Year. Get your shit together with your snowflake. I'm at the crib, man, and I'm just finishing up. Stop. Throw them bitches in the main. I'm telling you. You're gonna see the results, bro. You're gonna see it. This is what's really gonna help you out. You know how I feel about the home dogs. There's a lot of fight in the home dogs, and I really think a lot of shit to go over tonight. Who that scored all them points over there? Player of the night.
Get them in your lineups. Get them in there. And let's go get this money.
Thursday, let's go, and remember, in the sweatshop, we always keep it 300. What's up? What's happening? It's your boy, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Today, we are gonna talk a little bit about what happened last night. We're gonna kind of sink our teeth into some do's and don'ts, whatever we may have done that wasn't, awesome. Because, bro, it was not a great night for me at all. It really was not. This was not a good night for me. I was a part of every injury on the slate. Well, I didn't make a ton of lines, and the ones that I did make were not very good. So tonight's a wash, man. It goes down in the books as not such a great night for me, man. It just wasn't, man. I think my highest lineup on FanDuel was like 289, right around, yeah. So it was a tough night. So you move forward, you look forward, and you continue to go. But the one thing that we can do is take a quick look back at our feature 4 players tonight and see who went off, why, and why didn't we have them. So first guy we're going to talk about, these are the feature 4 players tonight. These are the most talked about, tweeted about guys in the DFS sweatshop, in the Facebook VIP, and as well as on Twitter. First guy we're going to talk about is the homie Taurean Prince, the who that scoring all them points over their player of the night. At a certain point in this game, we really felt like the Atlanta Hawks were going to beat the Boston Celtics, man. 31 minutes, 31 points, 8 boards, 2 assists. Dude hit 5 3-point shots and got 3 steals. Excellent game we saw from Taurean Prince. And the dude was at such a depressed price point, man. Only 4.5. And, I mean, who saw a sign of this? I mean, dude went off. I mean, Taurean Prince went off. And he has that capability. I know he had been dealing with a sprained finger issue, I think, injury dating back a few games, and he may be, right where he needs to be, healthy, and just went out and just balled, man. So excellent game for Taurean Prince. Next guy I'm going to talk about is the how did I miss that play tonight? And this is a guy that I usually get right. Spencer Dinwiddie at 46.25 DraftKings points. I'm going to tell you how I missed him. I fell so far victim to the D'Angelo Russell narrative. You know what I mean? The D'Angelo Russell narrative that I had in my head that just completely overlooked Spencer Dinwiddie. I think the price was up a little bit too much too. It was 6.7, and I had gotten on him in a lineup. And I also saw that the Eric Bledsoe news came out, and he was 6.7 also. And I moved off of Dinwiddie on to Bledsoe, thinking that he would be stupid low owned. Who's going to play Bledsoe after that horrible game and the injury status against my New York Knicks? Who is going to do that? And it turns out Bledsoe in the signature GPP was 13% owned. Dinwiddie was 6% owned. So I was already where I needed to be, man, and that's just I hate when you gotta hate when that happens. When you make those last second moves and tinker with your lineup, and because I like this game a lot, bro. I like a lot about this game. Yeah, he was 6.1. 6.1. Yeah, he was 6.1. And I see when news comes out really close to lock, like when you find out something happens, it's so hard to stand your ground, stay where you are, and not move based off the recent shift in the news. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so hard to do that as a DFS player because there's that one night when you did move over and you made that move and you cashed out. It worked. And this last night was not one of those nights for me. So that is why Spencer Dinwiddie is the how did I miss that? And I just explained how I missed that play of the night. The next guy we're going to talk about is the heat check play tonight. And this can only go to one dude, man, Donovan Mitchell. We talked about him a lot last night. I hope you had some of them. The dude went ham. In 33 minutes, he dropped 40 points, 5 boards, 6 assists. He hit 7 3-point shots. Also had a couple of steals. And, the 7 3-pointers, that's an outlier. But we all knew that Donovan Mitchell was in a very solid spot here. That's just something that we all knew that. And I really hope you all got some exposure to him. And then the last guy we're going to talk about is the snowflake of the night. And, this dude doesn't even deserve music. Goran Dragic, bro, you were just named to an all-star team. You go out and you play 23 meaningless minutes. You only score 10 points. You get 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and you turn it over a couple of times. You don't even deserve the music. I want you to see who's ahead of you, Goran Dragic. Treveon Graham is sitting on your head right now. Treveon fucking Graham had more points than Goran Dragic. And for that reason, tonight, use a motherfucking snowflake with your snowflake ass, and I'm not going to roster your bitch ass again. And you should not be an all-star. You really shouldn't. You should give the jacket back, give the jersey back, and sit out and have a seat somewhere. You really should. You should even go to the all-star game. You should have to watch on the television at your house from how horrible you played last night. What a fucking bum. You're a snowflake. You're a snowflake ass. Let's get on with the rest of the motherfucking shit. Now, we have 9 games in totality popping off on today, but the first game, the early game, is a 3:30 joint. That's going to be the Chicago Bulls going to LA to take on the Clippers. The rest of which is going to be really juicy, bro. I'm telling you. You've got Dragic again in a back-to-back, going to Detroit, where we get to take another look at Blake Griffin. There's a really good chance that you won't see Hassan Whiteside here. The only nationally televised game, we got one natty telly on the slate. It's going to be the Houston Rockets going to Cleveland. That should pop off really nice, depending on Chris Paul and how that goes down. Then we've got the Sixers and the Pacers. Both of these teams are on a back-to-back. We got the Wizards and the Orlando Magic. That always makes for a really solid one. We know Orlando does struggle against point guards. Washington usually is pretty good, but no John Wall. So I think this could be an elf off of the shelf type of day. Then we've got the New Orleans Pelicans on a back-to-back going into Minnesota. That should be a good one. Utah and the San Antonio Spurs are going to be the 9 o'clock game. And then, of course, we've got the Golden State Warriors going to Denver. That should be a nice one with the Mavericks and the Sacramento Kings closing out the evening at 10 p.m. So let us go ahead. And what we're going to do now, this show is what it has been over the last few. This show is what it has been over the last few, and I think this has really been a help to a lot of you, man. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback on the way I share my my ranking type strategy, because I want you to look at what FanDuel does in terms of their pricing of players and what DraftKings does in terms of their pricing of players as the way that particular site ranks guys. You know what I mean? The way they rank guys. So we're going to rock out with that format where we discuss each game in depth, go through each lineup, look at the price points. We're going to do that on DraftKings, then go back and look at it on FanDuel and see where any discrepancies are that can give us some initial guys to kind of jump on. Then at the end of this process, we are going to make a FanDuel lineup, throw that bitch in the dribbler, and we're going to get it going, man. So let's get it in, man. First game we got is going to be the Miami Heat going to Detroit to take on the Pistons. We got a 197 point total. It is the lowest point total that I do see so far. Well, no, we got Utah and San Antonio is 195. Sorry about that. But this is going to be a fairly low point total. We've got only a 2-point differential here, and you've got Andre Drummond, you've got Blake Griffin, Ish Smith. Okay, so Whiteside, let's take a look at Whiteside. Let's take a look at why he left the game, why he didn't return. All right. Um, Whiteside will not return to Friday's game due to an illness. He provided 4 points, 9 boards, and 3 blocks across 18 minutes before exiting the contest. The Heat will play the second game of a back-to-back set against the Pistons on Saturday, so the big man's status for the contest is certainly up in the air. It will likely depend on how he's feeling closer to tip-off. Expect an update on his status once the team provides more information. So this is not a situation where he is hurt. Like, this is not a situation where he's hurt. You know, he has an injury of some sort. Like, if he feels better today, he could play. If he feels better today, he could play. So with that being said, 7.4, you get him at a depressed price point against Andre Drummond. I know it's gonna scare you. What happened last night? I know it's gonna scare you, but it's a prime spot for him to go in at low ownership and play well on an 8-game slate. So I definitely think that you can look at Hassan Whiteside. Just like we just talked shit about Goran Dragic, threw him under the bus. I guess the motherfucker could be in play against Ishmael. You gotta have like a short memory, man. To be a good defense player, you gotta have like a quarterback mentality. Like, you go out and you throw that pick six. You can't say, well, fuck it, I'm not throwing to that guy anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because you might need a guy to make the David Tyree catch on his helmet. So fuck you, Goran Dragic, last night, but today is a new day, and maybe we can look to you at 6.5. Josh Richardson at 5'8". I kind of like that. If I get him under 6K in this matchup, I wouldn't have an issue there. Blake Griffin is most definitely in play at 8.2. I like the price point on him being decreased. And I don't want you to be afraid of these lower point totals. I really don't. If you see the point totals are low, what that means is you can play the studs. Whatever guy that you see are bona fide stars, bona fide studs that have offensive games, most definitely. Those are guys you can play, because Andre Drummond, he averages 14 and 14. He's probably going to get that. He's probably going to get that. Now, the and some could be tough. Now, the and some could be tough, but he's probably going to get around his average. So Blake Griffin's still riding high. This game is again in Detroit, where, I don't, playing in LA and playing for the Clippers, he was never the biggest game in town. The Lakers weren't the biggest game in town. Even when the Lakers were bad and the Clippers were good, the Lakers were still the biggest draw in town. Well, at least here in Detroit, he doesn't have to share staples with anybody else. Like Andre Drummond even knows. Like, Blake Griffin is like the biggest star we've seen in Detroit since who? Fucking Ben Wallace. You know what I mean? And Ben Wallace was Andre Drummond. Like, they haven't had like a huge star in quite some time. So I think Blake Griffin likes that. I think he is embracing that, and I think that we definitely saw that extra pep in his step. And I think he can be in play most definitely today. I think he can be in play as well. So we got Andre Drummond at 8.5, who I would say is usable. I would let the DVP really scare me here. I think Blake Griffin adds a different dimension, and now we get Drummond under 9K, where he could be usable. I would not say stack them, but I would say you can play either or if you like, because I think they're going to start staggering their minutes. I don't think we're going to see them, on the court together as much. The more we see them play. So those are definitely two guys I like, but I'm not going to live in this game. Those are the few guys that I do like. Let's go with a FanDuel and take a look at, if there could be any pricing discrepancies here. 7.7, 6.5, same price. Josh Richardson is 6.2. Drummond is 10.2. So that's kind of telling you something right there. That's kind of telling you something right there. Andre Drummond is 10.2 and he's 8 something. He's almost 2K more. Blake Griffin is 9.3. Ish Smith 6'1. Stanley Johnson 5'8. Blah. Nah. You're not catching the break for any of those cats. You're really not. Next game we got is going to be the Philadelphia 76ers going to Indiana to take on the Pacers. So the Pacers did not travel. I know the Pacers did travel from Charlotte back home to Indiana, and I believe the Philadelphia 76ers, I think they traveled too. Let's go back and check. Was that game in Philly, or was it? Yeah, no, they didn't travel. Okay, so they didn't travel. So they are traveling. Yeah, they're traveling to Indiana. Okay, so this is gonna be the back-to-back set for Joel Embiid. I think the first back-to-back we see him play. I'm still not completely. How many minutes did he play that set? I'm still not completely sold on him playing a back-to-back. I'm not. I'm not completely sold. I'd have to see it first. I'm not gonna play him on a back-to-back. That's something I'd have to see first. I'd have to see him play that first. I'm not just gonna roll him out on a back-to-back. You know what I mean? That's something I definitely want to take a look at first. Let's take a look. How many minutes did he play last night? This is talking about Embiid. I think he played a fair amount of minutes last night. He played 31 minutes, and that's probably right where they want him. That's probably right where they want him, around 30 minutes. So I'm not gonna play him on a back-to-back set. I'm not. Ben Simmons didn't have a great game last night, but I think he's usable here in this spot. We love to play. See, that's the thing that I hate is this is a dream spot. Like we love to play centers against the Indiana Pacers. We really do. Like it is all good to play centers against the Pacers. But Joel Embiid in the back-to-back, I'm still not doing it. I'm not doing it. Dario Saric at 6.7 could be in play. Maybe with a Robert Covington at 5.7 here. On the other side, Vic Oladipo is now 8.4. Yeah, give me that. Miles Turner at 6.1. I don't love that. Darren Collison is going to be in play for me. Even though Goran Dragic could not do anything against Philadelphia last night, I think Darren Collison could be in a better spot for cheaper at 5.6. Thad Young at 5.9 doesn't really interest me. Maybe some Lance Stevenson, and we get Domantas Sabonis under 6K. That is usable. That is usable. Let's take a look over on FanDuel and see where everybody stacks up. Embiid is 10.5, Ben Simmons 8.5, Saric is 6.5, so he's a little bit cheaper. Robert Covington is 5.9. Miles Turner 7.1. He's 1,000 more, which could put him in play on DraftKings. Vic Oladipo is 9K. Mo, Indiana gives it up to Central. Yes, they do. They do. They do. Mo, we should start checking out these single game contests on FanDuel. It's not that hard, and a lot of people aren't on it yet. Okay. Okay. Thad Young, don't love him. Sabonis 6.4. Lance Stevenson is 4K. That's a value there. Next game we got is going to be the Washington Wizards going to Orlando to take on the Magic, where Bradley Beal, man, at 9.1. Man, that's a ball breaker right there. Because we just played him at high 8Ks. We just played Bradley Beal above 8K, but 9.1 is really reaching. And he was 8.4. 9.1 is really this is the highest I've ever seen Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal has never cost this much. Bradley Beal, this is the highest Bradley Beal has ever cost on DraftKings, and for that reason, I'm not playing him. I'm fading for that reason. Porter at 7.1, he's gonna be usable. Markieff Morris, I would look there. I don't love Gortat here. Beal should feast. No one on Orlando can stop him. Yeah, but I mean, should feast, and he's gonna drop 54 points. If you see him scoring 54, like the floor is not high enough. You know what I'm saying? Like he has like a 30 floor. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't have like a 40-point floor. He's not a 10K player. You know what I'm saying? Where you can just look at that one roster spot and be like, fuck it, just give me 40. Like he's not that good. Where he has a slow first half, where he only scores like 11 points in the first half, and you're like, you know what, fuck it, just as long as he gets me 40, I'll be fine. Like Beal don't have that. That's priced up all the way up. I would venture to say he's probably cheaper on FanDuel, but I'll check that out though. Oubre Jr. at 4.6. That looks like a play I can use. Elfrid Payton is coming off of the shelf for me at 6.6. Yo, I'm gonna jump out on a limb and just tell you right now, I like Elfrid. I like Elfrid Payton. I really like Elfrid Payton, and most people probably aren't, but I really like him. Bismack at 5.2 definitely is gonna be playable against Gortat. Maurice Spates may get another start here at 4.2 if we see Aaron Gordon. But Vooch, Vooch could come out. Let's see. Vooch, he's nearing return to full contact work. This was 3 days ago. So Vooch looks like a game time decision. He could come in. I'm sure the minutes. Damn, it has him like slated for 30 minutes. For Vooch playing 30 minutes. That's gonna be interesting. That is. We gotta come back and look at that one. And the price on him is 7.2. Let's go look on FanDuel. That is interesting. Bradley Beal is 9.2 on FanDuel. So he's somebody who I just can't get with. Porter, Markieff Morris. You still like Peyton even if Gordon or Vucevic? Yes. I like him against Washington. I just like him against Washington with no John Wall. Look at the last two. He's crushed them twice this year, bro. He gets busy against the Wizzy. He gets busy against the Wizards. Peyton has been losing minutes to Mac and DJ. Oh, he just balled out against the Lakers, like just balled out with 44 points. Didn't Biyombo drop 50 to 60 against the Wizards? I think he had a great game against them as well. I think he did. Let's look. Hey, Mo, the line drive video on Facebook's have been having issues lately. Anyone else been complaining, or you think it's just me? I think it's just you, bro. Everybody's been everybody's been enjoying it, man. I think it's just you. He had 51 against them. 51.6 last time was what Bismack did, but he got busy against them. So I think both of those guys are in play for me. And Busy's only 5.5 on FanDuel. Now this is if Vucevic doesn't play, because Vooch, Vooch and Aaron Gordon look to be game time decisions here. So that's only if Vooch is out. I like him, bro. I'm on Elfrid Payton. He always crushes. He always crushes against Washington. All right. So next game we got is going to be the Houston. The Houston Rockets going to Cleveland to take on the Cavs. We got James Harden 11.6, Chris Paul 9.3. He is not on the injury report. He should get it in. We know the deal, bro, with Cleveland against shooting guards and point guards, perimeter guys that can knock down shots and are playmakers. This is the strength of the Cleveland of the Houston Rockets. You know, guys like Harden and Chris Paul. I would go ham and say that both of these guys are going to be in play. Whenever I like James Harden or even Chris Paul this much, I do want to consider Clint Capella. The problem is that Tristan Thompson has been playing very well in the middle, been man in the middle very well. So that's going to curb my enthusiasm for him. Gerald Green at 5K could be in play here. Maybe even, especially like if Eric Gordon is a game time, it doesn't play in this game, him and Ariza, like Gerald Green is definitely going to be a guy I'm going to consider. But I do like, not having that scoring punch of Eric Gordon and or Trevor Ariza. I like not having that scoring punch for Harden and Paul. I kind of like that. I think that puts more of the onus on them to be scorers, to be facilitators, to have the ball, and to stagger them actually, so that you don't have a second team offense led by PJ fucking Tucker or Gerald Green. There's gonna be Chris Paul out there with him. So I think I can get behind both of these cats. Probably wouldn't stack them, but I could definitely play. I could definitely play either or James Harden or Chris Paul. On the other side, LeBron James at 11.2. Just off the fact he's LeBron James is going to be in play, I think it's going to be a different team we see, bro. I think without Kevin Love, this team is going to establish an identity. It's going to be a very, very different team. I really do. I think it's going to be a very different team. Kevin Love, I'm not going to say Kevin Love was holding the team back, but it was just the roles are more easily defined without Kevin Love, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I think the way the team is built right now with LeBron and Isaiah and Jay Crowder, Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith, I think the roles are clearly defined here. Tristan Thompson, you just get your ass down there, rebound, try to block some shots. LeBron is gonna play, is gonna be the facilitator. We're gonna have a lot of Isaiah Thomas coming off of the ball, and Jay Crowder, you get out and try to defend 3-point shots. Like that's kind of what this team is. And then the second unit is gonna do what they do, guys like Dwayne Wade and Channing Frye and Derrick Rose. It was just very different. It was just very different with Kevin Love out there because he wanted to shoot threes. He wanted to shoot threes. So definitely think that CP3 is in play. James Harden is in play. Kind of like LeBron here. I think Tristan Thompson at 4.3 is just so cheap in this spot. You've got to give him some consideration. If you want to look at some second team guys, I would tip my cap to Dwayne Wade to get a few minutes here at 4.7. I kind of like that one. And I wouldn't go completely like stupid ham invested in this game, but there's a few pieces that I definitely do like, as you can see. We're gonna look over on FanDuel, where you see Harden's 11.5, Chris Paul 9.5, Capella is 7.7. Ryan Anderson is as cheap as I have ever seen him, and at 3.8, man, man, I might want to have some exposure there. That is cheap. That is cheap. LeBron 11.5, Isaiah Thomas is 6.3, Crowder 4.2, Tristan Thompson is 4.6. Okay, I see, and Dwayne Wade is 5.7. He's 1,000 more. He's 1,000 more. I kind of like that. I like the Wade. I like the Wade off the bench. He's 1,000 more on FanDuel. That means he's a value on DraftKings. Next game we got is going to be the Golden State Warriors going to Denver to take on the Nuggets. Did they struggle last night? I thought I saw them struggling some last night. Yeah, man, they won 119 to 104. Of course, the game was over a little bit before it was supposed to be, of course. But still, man, Sacramento kind of held pace with them for a little while, man. It wasn't a complete like, oh my God, it's a massacre. It wasn't like that. And they're on a back-to-back. We could see some cats rest here. Denver does have a day of rest. So, Jokic at 8.7, yeah. Gary Harris at 5.7, yeah. Jamal Murray at 6.5, yeah. Will Barton at 5.8, yeah, I can get there. Like, I kind of like Denver as a stack, bro. I kind of like Denver as a stack. I do, and I want to look at what they've been doing recently, okay? And Jokic has been playing well. He dropped 63 against them the last time they played, and this was not very long ago, last week. Earlier in the month, on the 8th. Then you've got 38, 24, but 63 last time, and that was in Golden State. Now they're back at home. Gary Harris last time against them, 31, 28, 16. I think he's usable still. Jamal Murray at 6.5. 34, 33, 15 in the last 3 games against them. Will Barton at 5.8. 10, 32, 41 in the first matchup this year. 51 in the game last year. I kind of like Denver, man. I think Denver's have been playing fairly decent lately. I really do. Kevin Durant jumps out to me at 9.9 here, as does Steph Curry. Both of those guys are being played. Maybe some Draymond. That's about as far as I can go. Jordan Bell, he should stay out. We might get some Iguodala back. Let's take a look at that one. No, not specified return there. David West was out last night. He's not coming back for this game. I like this one, man. Let's go over to FanDuel and see the difference in the pricing for this one. That's going to be a good game. Okay, Curry is 10K. I like that. Draymond is 8.2. Kevin Durant 10.4. Jokic is 10.1, so he's definitely playable on DraftKings. Gary Harris 6.7. That makes him playable on DraftKings. Will Barton, all of these dudes are like 1,000 more than they are. Look at Wilson. Ooh, look at Wilson and Chandler sitting there at 3.9, looking like a snack. We might can use that. Lyles will produce again. Last time against the Dubs, he put up 40. Let's take a look here. Trey Lyles at 5.6. Last game out against the Warriors, he had 39 and 25 before that. So yeah, definitely he's gonna be in play. I can dig that. Now let's go over to DraftKings. The next game we got is going to be the New Orleans Pelicans going to Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. And you know what time it is. Anytime we have the Pelicans on deck, we love to play cats against them because they just give it up in every position. If you take a look, they give it up everywhere. So guys that are jumping off to me really quick, Karl-Anthony Towns, the Battle of Kentucky, him and Anthony Davis should play well. I want to see what he does against them. I think he plays well against them. 40, 40, 40, 46, 45. So this dude, okay, so the dude has a 40-point fucking floor. He has a 40-point floor at 8.8 against his old against his Kentucky guy. Against what I'm saying? Come on. Karl-Anthony Towns is looking like a Corey play to me. He's looking really Corey to me. Then you got Jimmy Butler at 8.9, who I think is in play. Definitely can use him. Jeff Teague, who I also like at 5.6. Not a huge fan of Wiggins here at 5.7. I'm just not. I just don't love Wiggins. But I think, I think Towns, Butler, Teague, maybe some Jam Crawford off on the bench at 3.7 could be usable. I kind of like that. Oh, shit, that was expected. I'm sorry. Oh, no, actual 51. I'm sorry. 51, 27, 12, 46, 46, and 32. I was about to say, oh, shit. I was about to say, because, okay, so this right here, this is expected fantasy points. That's what you expect from him. This is the actual points. My apologies. Oh, my apologies. I almost misled the fam. I'm sorry about that. 51 was the last one he had, and then he had 27, 12, 46, 46, 32. I still like him. Just not as much as I did when I thought he was averaging 43 against them. Sorry about that. On the other side, AD at 11.3. AD on a back-to-back. When is AD going to get hurt again? Like, when is this dude going to lose a knee fight? Because he hasn't been hurt in quite some time. Coming off a big, coming off a big game last night, where he went out and dropped 64. Um, played 38 minutes. Look at the minutes we're seeing from Anthony Davis without injury or incident. 38, 36, 41, 37, 37, 43. Dude played 2 back-to-back overtime games not that long ago, man. 50 and 45 minutes. Like, yes, yeah, put him on. Him, Drew Holiday at 7.6. I think this is the Rondo spot. Mirotic is almost a lock in this offense at this price. I would tend to agree with DJ Dog. Definitely. Yeah, man. I think it says he's going to be out. Or is he going to play today? Estimated return. Okay, he will make his debut today. Okay, against the Wolves. Okay, cool, cool, cool. And see, that's another. I knew I didn't like Taj Gibson for a reason. That's probably going to pull Taj Gibson away from the basket, which is definitely going to help Anthony Davis. Definitely going to help Karl-Anthony Towns in the rebounding pursuits. Only guy I don't love here is Etuan Moore. Only guy I don't love. I think this is a Rondo spot, bro. I kind of got my point guards on FanDuel already pieced up. I think this is a Rondo spot, and I like it. I definitely do. Let's go take a look on FanDuel and see what we have in the way of pricing. AD is 12K. Holiday is 8. He's cheaper, so I like that. Rondo is 4.6. That's usable. Mirotic is 6.1. Karl-Anthony Towns 9.1. That's still a usable price. Buckets is 8.9. It's the same price he is. Wiggins is 6.2. And oh yeah, well he looks a little okay. They're the 27th ranked DVP against shooting guards. Jeff Teague at 6.2. I like that. And I like Wiggins at shooting guard because shooting guard is not like jam packed today. I could play Wiggins at shooting guard. 27 ranked DVP. I could play him. Match up against Drew Holiday. Holiday on Butler D. Anyone know if Mirotic plays good defense? Mirotic is not a great defender, no. But what he does do is he draws his man away from the basket shooting the deep shots. That's what he does do. Is Rondo a lock on FanDuel? I wouldn't call him a lock on FanDuel. I wouldn't call him a lock, but he's definitely playable. That's where I'm gonna get some exposure to him at. I'm gonna get some exposure there, definitely. And Jam is 3.6. I like that. Your Jam be balling, bro. Next game we got is gonna be Utah Jazz going to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. Remember, the Jazz are on a back-to-back, but the strength of their roster is these young dudes, man. Cats like Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert at 7.2 looks to be playable. Ricky Rubio at 6.1 is a guy I think you can play. LaMarcus Aldridge at 7.5, man, that's stupid cheap for Aldridge. I kind of like that. And you're going to see Gasol match up with Rudy Gobert anyway. DeJounte Murray at 5.6. I like the price, but I don't like the matchup. Danny Green at 4.6, coming off of a monster game, is going to see a ton of usage. Matched up with Donovan Mitchell, I can see him on the court for an extended period and playing well. Kyle Anderson at 4.9 could be usable. Maybe you want to get some Manu Ginobili at 3.9 off of the bench as a salary saving option. Let's go ahead and check it out on FanDuel and see where everybody sits. Gobert 7.5, nice. That's nice, similarly priced. Ricky Rubio is cheaper at 5.9. Yes, that's usable. Favors at 6.5. Yo, shout out to the homie DJ Dog, man. Much love to you, bro. Marcus Aldridge 8.6. Powell 6.3. Murray is 5.8. Danny Green is 5.1. You're not getting no breaks on FanDuel for the Utah San Antonio game, baby. You ain't. Last game on the slate is going to be the Dallas Mavericks going to Sacramento to take on the Kings. We got Dennis Smith Jr., 6.8, who I will definitely get a piece of that. I like Harrison Barnes here at 6.4. I want to look and see what the young rookie kids have done against each other. They haven't seen. Okay, so this is the first time this year that Dennis Smith Jr. and De'Aaron Fox, yet another motherfucker who we should have drafted over Frank Ntilikina, Frank Nitty. We're gonna see these guys square off. And yo, Dennis Smith Jr., one of the worst defenders in the league at the point guard position, bro. Dallas has been bending over and giving it up. So if you're telling me I can get De'Aaron Fox at 5.8 as a late night hammer with low ownership on an 8-game slate against Dennis Smith Jr. defense, sign me up for a piece of that. I think that's usable. I think that's usable. Dirk Nowitzki at 5K. Don't really love that one. Wesley Matthews, he's had some really solid games recently, and I'm not in fear of this team's perimeter defense. They did hold them to only 8.25 fantasy points the last time out, but over the last few games, man, 27, 37, 20, 18, and 50 in his last 5 games. So he's had 2 really great games in his last 5. Yogi Ferrell off of the bench at 4.7. Looks to be a usable option here. Wesley Matthews, we talked about him already. Could be usable. Yeah, I don't like Dirk here. I don't love Dirk here. I think, Bogdanovic could be in play. Justin Jackson at 3.5 looks to be usable. De'Aaron Fox is a guy who I definitely like. I'm not even a huge fan of Zebo. I'm really not. And Willie Cauley-Stein at 6.3, definitely a guy that I'm going to consider. How has the Kings been against the stretch 5? Or better question, how has Dirk done against the Kings? Let's take a look. Well, he had 25 in his one-time seen him this season. He had 25 in 29 minutes. So, I mean, that's 5x. I mean, that won't kill you. It won't win you a tournament, but it won't kill you. He should be okay in this matchup, but just not a place that I'm going to be targeting. But he should be. I mean, he should be okay. He should be okay in this matchup. It's probably not a spot that I'm going to be targeting. Did De'Aaron Fox play them this year? Yeah, he dropped 33 on him at 5.1. I remember that. Yeah, he had a good game. I like De'Aaron Fox. Let's go look over on FanDuel and see what the pricing differences will be. Dennis Smith Jr., he's still cheap at 6.8. Yeah, that's good. Dirk is 5.4. Wesley Matthews 5.8. Yogi is 4.2. I kind of like that. De'Aaron Fox is 5.9. Good price on him. You get Bogdanovic at 5.1. Cauley-Stein is 7.5. Ooh, that's a lot for Cauley-Stein on FanDuel. So now that we've gone through the games, let's go ahead and throw this lineup in the dribbler. We're going to go through each position and lock in the play that we talked about the most. This is just a guy that we kept talking about. And I think right off the bat, I like Elfrid Payton here. He's one of my favorite point guard plays on the slate. Definitely can get some Elfrid Payton. At shooting guard, I love James Harden here. I'm going to have some exposure to James. At small forward, the guy that we did talk about a lot was, who did we talk about? I think small forward was one that we was kind of cakey and flaky on. We didn't know exactly how we were going to attack that one. So I might need some input, some direct input on Was it Wilson? Was Wilson Chandler the cheapie? Okay, Wilson Chandler for the cheap. Gonna exercise some value. And then at power forward, we did talk about who did we talk about? We talked about Miritic. Yeah, you talked about Miritic. We like Miritic. Okay, so we got about 6.28, 6.2 for in salary left. Let's go ahead and lock in our center spot. Let's see what we like. We got AD at 12K, Embiid on the back-to-back, which I'm not playing them. Jokic at 10.1. We got Towns at 9.1, who I think some of us do like. We've got Vooch, who's a game-time decision. Hassan Whiteside, Capella, Rudy Gobert, who I kind of like, even though he's against San Antonio. Cauley Stein, Turner, Bismack, Powell, Tristan Thompson. Yeah, Tristan Thompson. I'm paying down to that. Paying down to that. So I remember I did not want to play Harden and Paul on the same team, so we're gonna go a different direction in terms of our point guard play. Capella or Tristan was what you said. Jokic, Towns. Okay. Rubio against San Antonio. Collison against Philadelphia. De'Aaron Fox, man, could be a stupid dope late night hammer against the homie, man. And it just says play him, you know. But I do like DHJ though. I do like Dennis Smith Jr. Got Dennis Smith Jr. in there. 6.6 average. So we could pay up for another studly cat. I think we can. And it doesn't have to be LeBron. Yeah, if Gordon is out, I do like Gerald Green. That is right. That is correct. I kind of like KD though. I kind of like KD at 10.4, which would give us 4.8 left per position, and we could pay down uh, at the shooting guard spot. But that's just getting too jiggy with it though. That's just getting too jiggy with it. KD getting too jiggy. Yeah, something's telling me that Embiid not playing can burn us. Something is telling me that, bro. Let's go buckets against Minnesota. I mean against New Orleans. Buckets against New Orleans looks to be good. I got Miritic already in that one. Shooting guard, we've got about 5.5 left. So we can get a pretty decent shooting guard here. Wesley Matthews, Dwayne Wade was somebody who we talked about some. Danny Green, Buddy Hield. Let's go. Butler and Wiggins. When do Butler and Wiggins play well? Do they ever play well together? You know what I'm saying? Do they ever both have good games? Because I'm getting torn between. Let's look at it. I'm gonna look at power forward first. So we got 11. We got 11.1. This is a pretty tough spot right here, man. Yeah, I did like Wiggins. I did like Wiggins. I just don't. I don't see playing Wiggins and buckets though. Or just it's gonna turn into a stack. It'll turn into a fit Mitchell in. I don't. Not against San Antonio. Not against San Antonio, man. Danny Green is like a good on-ball defender. You know what I'm saying? get off buckets. Markieff Morris. Okay, I kind of like that. J.R. Smith. Fuck. Fuck, I'm playing J.R. Smith. He's a bum. J.R. Smith is horrible, bro. He's one of the league's worst players. I'm feeling like Gerald Green if the homie is out. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm feeling him. So yo, the mid level is tough tonight. This is a tough mid level, bro. If you go in turning, maybe Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield, the shooting guard, right? Yeah, because we got Wiggins and Chandler. Like I paid all the way down for Chandler. Only have one Smith per team. Only have one Smith per team. That's right. Stanley Johnson could be in play. I got 13. So what's the price? What's the price on Blake? Blake is 9-3. We get Blake Griffin, and I got 45 hundo. We making a decision right now. You go Etwan Moore at 4.5. Get a piece of that Minnesota joint. Yes. Bam. That's the one guy I didn't really love though for Minnesota. Maybe I'm tripping on JR, but I gotta have him at least one. The Cavs need to improve something. I get it. I get it. Okay, Etwan Moore or Justice Winslow? Really quick. Somebody tell me what you think. Etwan Moore or Justice Winslow? Where you at? Winslow? Especially if Whiteside is out. That could help. That could help. And if Whiteside is out, we go to Bam. We go to Bam Adebayo. If Whiteside is out, I'm gonna check the price on Bam. Yeah. Okay. If Whiteside is out, we go to Bam. But I can definitely get behind the homie here. Here we go. That is the lineup for the dribbler. Yeah, if Whiteside is out, then we get rid of Tristan Thompson. We go Bam, and then we can pay up from Justice Winslow to somebody else. So there we go, man. We got Alfred Payton, Dennis Smith Jr., James Harden, Andrew Wiggins, Wilson Chandler, Justice Winslow, Nikola Mirotic, Blake Griffin, and Tristan Thompson. That is the line for you. Big shout out to everybody. Thank you all for joining me inside of tonight's live stream. Much love, respect, admiration, appreciation to all of you. Remember, this is the DFS Sweatshop, where the #1 goal is to keep it real, keep it honest. Always, always keep it 300. Peace.